Thanks so much for taking your time to talk with me. This is
Mhm.
such an intense and gritty true life story. Was there something about the series itself or the character, as you're playing a real human being
Mhm.
of Gail, that really made you want to be a part of this series?
When I first learned about the project, I was really compelled and interested to see how they would explore such a controversial topic, and thinking personally, how do I want to be involved in something that talks about such a devastating story? But I loved how they really explore the complexity of all of the characters and how something like this can unfold, and how to be part of something that brings up such important topics today as the responsibility of social media, especially with young girls and teenagers, and mental and suicide, mental health, um, and also as a mom, you know, I think it's really interesting to explore the relationship between raising kids in this era of technology, which is a whole new animal.
There's a lot of source material for this as well. Did you concentrate on any of like the Dateline episodes or things like that, or did you focus more on just what was from the book?
Yeah, I was familiar with the Esquire article by Jesse Barron and the documentary "I Love You Now Die," and just to really familiarize myself with research that had been done on it. And the creative team was always had answers for us when we had questions about specific things that were happening, whether it is in the family or the case. But there are of course elements that are fictionalized,
Mm.
particularly with Gail, because she didn't give any interviews. There's really no source material on her at all. So we really just created, um, not based on anything that was out there.
Such a interesting relationship you have with Elle Fanning in the series as well. Talk
Yeah.
about creating the bond that you needed to portray mother and daughter and what you needed to do to defend her at all costs.
Well, I love that question. I love your insight into that she feels she's still her mother. And if anyone's going to be in your corner, no matter what, it's going to be your mom, no matter what goes on, because that's what moms do, right? And I think that Gail, something that we created was that she's a mom who has limitations, right? Like I like to think of myself as a mom who can talk to my daughter, like get in there
About
and have heart to
anything.
heart, right? But she might think otherwise. But we, Elle and I felt like there was a real effort of love, but I don't think Gail was quite good at it. And she's not a bad person because of that, right? We're not all, it's not an indictment of her as a mother, but she did try. She tried to get her help, mental health issues. She approached her. She tried to talk to her. She's always there for her. And I approached it as, even though there's this dawning reality of that, oh my gosh, my daughter's complicit in this child suicide, that you don't abandon your child no matter what, because that's part of the job. Once you have a child, you're always there for them.
What do you hope viewers take away from The Girl from Plainville?
I hope that viewers take away this idea that we never really know what's going on with people, um, that that we have more of an open conversation about mental social media responsibility, particularly with young girls, and conversations more about mental health, and taking away, I think it's changing a lot, that taking away any stigma or shame, talking about when we need help. It's you're actually stronger and braver to ask for help, inquire about people, see what's going on, checking in with people, and that we treat our mental health like we treat any kind of checkup, right? We go to the dentist, we go get our eyes checked once a year, we go for blood work, that we are always tending to our mental health as we do to our physical health. And it just becomes a regular part of self-care.
Well, I really do hope that viewers take that in. I mean, this is such a unique story about, um, you know, not just friendship, but it's also about
Yeah.
suicide. It's about mental health and, you know, your own
Yeah.
mental health, not just being there for
Right.
someone who you feel has
I
issues with
feel
their
like it
mental.
really spoke to you and touched you. I feel like you had a real connection to it based on your questions and your way right now.
Well, thank you very much. I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking your time to speak with me. I can't
Yeah.
wait for people to get a chance to watch the series.
Thank you. Thank you for your thoughtful questions.
My pleasure.